We wanted to make Thunderbolts dating back to when we were in development of Black Widow.
Look up's pretty good though.
We're making a movie, baby.
In Black Widow, we started to introduce these characters who were kind of anti-heroes. They weren't exactly your prototypical Tony Stark or Captain America. And we realized that that was kind of an opportunity to tell a new story and introduce a new team that were on this journey of redemption and discovering who they are.
Okay. New assignment. You come to Red Guardian, you want a little help.
No, I think I'm gonna quit.
We knew that Yelena was the perfect person to kind of lead the POV of this team.
I think something that I was really impressed by when I read the beginning of the script was it was taking Yelena down a road that I wasn't expecting her to go down. We find Yelena in a state of nothingness. She doesn't feel anymore. She doesn't want to be here. They send me a job, I clock in, clock out, you know. She's not interested by life, she's not interested by people, she's not interested by all the things that we fall in love with her with in Black Widow.
Perhaps it is time that you followed in her path.
And it is Alexei that pulls Yelena back and gives her hope again.
You were happy. I'll make you something, huh?
That relationship does kind of establish the true emotional core of the film, because she goes to him looking for some sort of fatherly guidance, and he's not in a place to give it in the beginning, and finally is at the end. And my God, that scene between the two of them, I mean, yeah.
I didn't think you wanted me.
I did.
I see that. I'm late, but I'm here now.
Alexei, there's sort of two things. He's battling himself and his own narcissism, and the big thing that he's battling is his inability to deal with Natasha's death.
Alexei, I am not your Amnichka. I haven't heard from you or seen you in a year.
He doesn't reach out to her. He's not very capable in that way, and so he sort of disappears. He recedes. So he's struggling with how to be that father figure to her.
Yelena!
He actually is struggling with the idea of like loving someone and how to do that. I don't think he knows how to do that. But I think as the movie goes on, he sees how necessary he is to her, and it becomes inevitable to show up.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the new Avengers.
This is a new team in the Marvel Universe, but these are characters who don't consider themselves kind of main players on the stage of heroes. They view themselves as very broken people who are trying to find their way. And so we tried to look for characters who could kind of fit that bill.
Look, I've been where you are. You can run, but it doesn't go away.
I love when they allow me to play a little bit of the duality. That's what I love about Bucky. I love that even though he's come a long way, he's still carrying his whole life experience with him. He's not a totally different person.
Steve gave people something to believe in, but you give him something to aspire to.
He's always going to have those things that made him who he is, good and bad. And it gives a different flavor to the choices that you make as an actor. And this, it feels like this is a very similar group. They could all go both ways. They're running away from the thing that scares them, they're running away from themselves, they're running away from the pain they didn't deal with, the guilt that they've accumulated from being out in the world and doing terrible things.
Sooner or later, it catches up to you, and when it does, it's too late. So you can either do something about it now, or live with it forever.
Nadia, you grab his fur, that's your step in.
John Walker, I liked the idea of starting him at a place where he'd been disgraced.
It wasn't me!
20 Bravo Victor, take 4.
He still has the idea that he's going to be helpful, and he wants to clean his slate so that he can be the person that he knows that he can be, and get back to like what makes John Walker John Walker.
I'm a decorated combat veteran, okay? I have a loving wife and a son. Let's be honest, you guys are just cheap mercenaries, okay? So I clearly am supposed to bring you in.
That was funny. Thank you.
But he's never really facing the reality of who he is and what he's done to get to where he got to. That's the driving force behind John.
John Walker in this movie is a continuation of his journey in trying to find his place in the world, wondering whether he's ever going to be worthy of being a hero.
Ghost is battling this incredible feeling of loneliness. She doesn't have a family, and in this movie, Yelena has her dad. And Walker talks about how he's got his loving wife and kids for the majority of the movie. And I don't have anyone. I only spent my entire life in labs, hooked up to machines so I could create this physical cage to keep my material body from disintegrating at all times. So yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
And you do not want to start the whole sob story game.
Battling that kind of sense of wanting to belong and wanting to be part of something and not be alone. And for this movie, you have to have accessed that pain and that trauma, because this is what the movie deals with and battles with, and we all can connect with that. Each character in this can, and we can all bond over that.
Thunderbolts is taking a different route towards heroism or towards teamwork or coming together that is about something emotionally resonant, which is about like the need for connection and togetherness, and hopefully it adds up to something that works on both of those levels, where it is fun and it is very funny, but then maybe also leaves you thinking a little bit about some stuff you might not expect a superhero movie to make you think about.